afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming in. We're going to get our exercise with Exos going here in just a second. Starting with our warm-up, we're going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch and some hip mobility, and then going into some shoulder retraction. We're going to go through 3 rounds of 45 seconds on, 15-second rest, starting with a plank to pike, moving into our reverse lunges, shoulder taps, lateral squats, running in place, and then what is this? Oh, base rotations. Okay. Then afterwards, we're going to have a little bit of a cool down with some thread the needle, get some shoulder and back mobility there, and some front hip mobility as well. So starting with our hamstring stretch, we're just going to get our feet hip width apart, extend the hands out in front, and forward fold down, reaching toward the toes, dropping the fingertips down, keeping the hips pulled back and knees straight. We're just trying to drop those shoulders and hands down towards the ground. Take nice deep breaths in, trying to get some good stretch there. Now while I'm here, I kind of like to give a little shift from side to side. Driving one knee forward and the other knee backwards. Really reaching into those hamstrings. And dropping. All right, coming back up. We're going to get into our shoulder retraction. So hands out in front, pointing straight in front of us. We're going to pull the shoulders back behind the ears, keeping our chest out, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. Pulling the belly button into the spine, getting our torso nice and locked in, and pulling the shoulders back and forth, keeping them nice and low through the whole movement. Okay, all right, and from here, we're just going to swing out the shoulders, get a couple of twists, get everything nice and mobile from the shoulders down to the ankles. I like to get a couple arm circles in as well, when I'm not smacking my TRX. More, get everything nice and warmed up, couple of squats. All right, now we are ready to go. We're going to go ahead and start with our plank to pike. 45 seconds on, and getting down into our plank position, hands and knees. We're going to bring the feet back, starting in our pike, and swinging down into a plank, driving away from the ground, moving back and forth. Getting into that pike position, driving the heels down and sliding forward, keeping the shoulders and hip level. A few more seconds. Keep it up. And done. All right. Now, next one, we're going to be moving into our alternating reverse lunge. So, up on our feet, stepping backwards, keeping the weight over the midpoint of the foot, switching sides with each step. As we come back up, we've got 45 seconds on. Nice, even pace. Giving just a slight rotation as we come down across the knee. Few more seconds. And done. Good. Next up, we're going down into our shoulder taps. So back into that plank position. We're going to bring our hands back, our knees back, feet up. Sorry, knees back, feet back, knees up. Feet a little bit wide and alternating side to side, switching hands. Keeping our hips and shoulders level as we move through. Tapping each side. A nice even pace. Few more seconds. And down. Good. Next up, we're going to go into our lateral squats. So up on our feet, getting our feet about a little bit wider than hip width. We're going to drop down to one side into a squat, loading one leg, shifting to the other side, back and forth. Trying to keep that weight over the midpoint of the foot on each side. So we're not coming too far onto the toes, not sitting too far back onto the heels. Just moving nice and even back and forth. All right, keep it up, a few more seconds. And finish. Nice job. Next up, we have our run in place. So, keeping our heels about 2 inches off the ground. We're just going to go nice and quick. Running in place, 45 seconds. Nice hot feet. Get those feet moving, heart rate pumping. Quick taps, 2 more seconds. Keep going. Almost there. And done. All right, next up we have our base rotations. So we're going to be going into about wide or hip width stance with slight knee bend, and we're just going to be rotating 1 foot forward, switching sides, keeping our shoulders square, turning our hips. Swinging those feet around. Getting a nice working pace. Few more seconds. And rest. Good. All right. We're going to start back at the top again with our plank to pike. So bring the hands down to the ground, getting our feet back, knees up. Starting in that plank position, we're going to rock back into a pike and rotate back down. Keeping those hips level, not trying to drop too far. pushing the ground away through the shoulders, driving the heels down to the ground. Let's go, a few more seconds. And rest. All right. Next up, we've got our reverse lunges, alternating sides. Getting a slight rotation as we come down, crossing that shoulder across the knee, and stepping back into our reverse lunge. Timer is on. Keep it up, keeping that weight over the midpoint of the foot. Few more seconds. And finish. Nice. All right, going into our shoulder taps. We're back down on the mat. Getting our hands directly below the shoulder. Feet come back, knees come up. Feet are planted about a little bit wider than hip width. And we're popping up. Alternating which hand comes up. Stabilizing the hips as we pop up onto one hand. Nice and even, back and forth. Few more seconds. Keep it up. And rest. Good. Next up, we're going to go into our lateral squats. Whew. Getting my back a little tight here. Next up, starting right here, getting our feet about a little bit wider than hip width and lunging to the side, keeping that weight over the midpoint of the foot. Keeping that chest nice and proud. Tall and upright. Finding a nice rhythm, good pace. Dropping the hips down, coming back up. Few more. And done. Good. Next up, we're going to do our run in place. 45 seconds. Going to get that heart rate up. Ready and go. Trying to keep those feet right below the hips, right below the shoulders. Trying to limit the movement through the core and up the body. Staying in one place as much as we can. Keeping those heels off the ground. Let's go, keep it up. Still got some time here. Few more seconds. And rest. Nice job. All right. Going into our base rotations. We're going to get hopping back and forth, side to side. Snap back into the middle. Ready and go. Jumping back and forth. Try and stay in the same general area the whole time. Really controlling where your feet are going, how those hips are swinging around. Still got some time here. Keep it up. Find a good pace. And rest. Good. All right. We're gonna start our third time through here. Starting with our plank to pikes. Okay, so getting down, hands on the mat, directly below the shoulder. We're gonna bring our knees back and up, swinging down into a pike, into a plank, and back up into a pike. Moving back and forth, really driving the ground away from the shoulder as you swing those hips up. Bringing the chest back over the hands. Driving the heels down into the ground. Trying to keep stable between both the left and the right side. Moving those hips in a nice line through the middle. And done. Nice job. Next up, we're going into reverse lunges. So, standing shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. Stepping back into a reverse lunge, dropping back, twisting around. Moving nice, even pace through each movement here. Keeping that weight over the midpoint of the foot as we step back. A few more. And done. Nice job. Headed back down to the mat, we've got our shoulder taps. So, reestablishing that pike plank position. Except we're not going into the pike. We're just getting our feet back, knees up, and a little bit wider than hip width. Getting that nice core engaged, and switching hand to shoulder. Moving back and forward. Nice even pace. Still got some time here, keep it up. And rest. Good. All right. Hopping back up onto our feet. We've got our lateral squats. So getting our feet wider than hip width. Finding that midpoint over the foot, right in the arch. And lunging side to side. Back and forth. Moving nice and easy between both legs. Keeping that weight over the midpoint of the foot. Dropping those hips down. Keeping the chest nice and proud. A few more, keep it up, a little bit more time here. And rest. Nice job. All right. Going into our run in place here. Getting my heart rate up. All right. Ready. Feet about hip width apart. Getting those heels 2 inches off the ground. And go. Running in place. Trying to stay in the same spot. Not moving too much side to side or forward and back. Really get those feet hot. Tapping quick. Almost there, a few more seconds. Got your calves burning, keep it up. And rest. All right, last one. Finishing off before our cool down. We're gonna go into those base rotations. Okay, ready? Getting our feet about hip width apart and switching. Hopping back and forth, keeping those heels off the ground. Trying to get some good work here. Last 30 seconds. Keep it up, keep it up. Short time. And rest. All right. Nice job, everybody. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Another one. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Last one. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Very good. We're going to start our cool down here with a wide split stance hamstring stretch. We're going to bring our hands together and fold down the middle, reaching our fingertips behind our heels. Getting into those hamstrings there. Still breathing deeply. Trying to get oxygen and our breath back. Nice and easy. We're going to switch over to one side. Reaching, grabbing the heel. With our hand that isn't grabbing our foot, we're going to bring the opposite hand up and over. Reaching above the head. Stretching into that lower back there, as well as the hamstring. And sweeping back down, rotating over to the other side, opening up with the hand, reaching up above the head, stretching into that lower back. And dropping down. We're going to rotate our feet to the outside, drop down to one leg, and we're going to drive our front knee out over that forward toe into a deep lunge. Now Here it's really important that as you drive forward, you don't arch your back. You want to keep your shoulders over your hips, suck the belly button into the spine, keep that chest nice and proud so you can really lengthen out that front hip flexor without straining your back. Getting a little cramp there, but just moving forward, keeping that back nice and tall. If you're feeling it a little bit in the back by keeping your spine straight, you can lower the chest a little bit. Really work into that hip flexor. And driving back, switching the knee. And keeping that chest up, belly button sucked into the spine. A little bit of a forward tilt as we come out over the toe. You're not feeling it as much in the hip flexor. Try and bring that front foot a little bit more forward. Create some more space between the planted knee and the heel of the foot. And driving back out. Last one we're going to do for today is our thread the needle stretch. So getting down into all fours. We're going to bring one hand underneath the armpit as we drop the shoulder down. We're going to stretch out the back by pulling that hand into the ground. And rotating up, opening up towards the ceiling. We're going to add a little extra one here. We're just going to drop that hand back towards the hip and rotate it back up and give a circle in the opposite direction before switching sides. A little rotational work there at the end through the whole shoulder joint. Dropping down, we're going to come back up, opening the chest up, reaching towards the ceiling. And dropping that hand down towards the hip, getting a big circle. And back down the other way. All right. Thank you everyone for coming in today. Hope you enjoyed our session. Don't forget to check out the rest of our classes on SharePoint and hop into our functional fitness class tomorrow, led by me. Can't wait to see you there. Thanks, guys.
See ya.